When I take office as Secretary of State, I want to be an ambassador for Arkansas. I want to promote the great things that are happening here and be a positive force for talking about our state and what we have to offer the rest of the country and in the rest of the world, economically and otherwise. This state has been the land of opportunity for the O'Brien family. My father came here in late 1972, and a few months later opened up his first McDonald's restaurant in Jacksonville when I was just 3 years old. And the customers that came into his business provided the money that paid for my college, my car, and every opportunity that I've ever had. So I owe a great debt to this state, and public service is one of the ways that I'm able to give back. Arkansas has been a great place to do business. You know, sometimes I think that we don't do enough to promote ourselves. You know, for example, Arkansas is the home of the largest public corporation in the world, Walmart, an incredible success story, and everybody knows that. But sometimes I think we let people forget that the birthplace of Walmart and still the headquarters, international world headquarters, is right here in Northwest Arkansas. We've got other great companies. Tyson's, obviously the largest agricultural producer, meat and chicken products, and companies like Stephens Incorporated in Little Rock, which is the largest financial house off of Wall Street. And I think being off of Wall Street these days is probably a pretty good thing. We've got great values here in Arkansas, and I think that those companies really have done well because they've understood Arkansas and the people of Arkansas and don't get ahead of themselves. And when times are tough nationally, they tend to be a little bit better in Arkansas. And I think that's because of the people of Arkansas. And so we need to tell the world about the great things happening here. One of the constitutional responsibilities of being Secretary of State is to handle the business and corporate filings, the UCC liens and the incorporations and the LLCs. So from the beginning, you want to set a standard of we're easy to do business with. Because yes, a lot of our corporations are local, but some come from other states, or the ownership is from other states. We want to make sure that it's as easy to do business in Arkansas as possible. You want people to be accountable. Everybody's got to follow the rules, but you don't want to create hindrances. You don't want to create aggravations for people, because that will drive them away. This state has produced greatness. Bill Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States, people recognize the work that he did more and more the further we get away from his presidency. Well, that's not an accident. He came up through politics and was reared in Arkansas and understood what it took to be successful in Arkansas, and those were the same qualities that it took to be successful in other parts of his presidency. And not only have we produced greatness in the past, but we have the capacity to produce much more greatness in the future. We first have to believe that that's possible. We have to organize ourselves, but in the end, you have to sell that message. You have to market yourself. You have to promote yourself. We need to be our biggest advocate. No one else is going to go out there and try to talk about the great things that are happening in Arkansas. One thing that I embody is that I'm an Arkansan through and through. I'm a product of our public education system. I graduated from Jacksonville High School, then I went to the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville and got my undergraduate degree, and continued on and got my law degree at the university. And so I'm a product of our public school system. I know a little bit about branding because of growing up in McDonald's. McDonald's is one of the most recognizable symbols in the world. When you see those golden arches, whether you're in China, the UK, or sub-Saharan Africa, you know what that is. It's a recognizable symbol. And that is important because in a modern world, with the speed of communication and short attention spans, people form their opinion about our state in the blink of an eye. And so it takes years and years of dedication and proper messaging to make sure that we have a brand for Arkansas that people really view in a positive light. Governor Beebe is a tremendous ambassador for Arkansas, and all I want to do is be a complement to that. He can't be everywhere. He tries a lot to be everywhere, but he can't be everywhere, and he can't go to every conference and every trade mission that needs to be done for Arkansas. So I'd love, to the extent that it works, be a complement to what he does so well on a daily basis. Because I speak the language of business and marketing, I can be a great ambassador for Arkansas. You have to choose your words carefully. You have to know what message you're trying to get across, and then you got to want it. You've got to make people believe that what we have to offer here in Arkansas is worth them taking a look at. And that's not just a skill that you develop overnight. It takes years of being around businesses, running businesses, and knowing business people to be able to talk that language credibly to where people believe, hey, this guy's really fired up about the economic opportunities in Arkansas. We really need to take a second look. In a global economy, Arkansas really needs a full-time ambassador. A lot of people don't realize that when foreign dignitaries come to the state capitol, the Secretary of State will show them around, make them feel comfortable, build relationships with them, sometimes stay in communication with them after the fact. That's very important. And in 2007, two really big developments occurred. One is a World Trade Center was opened up in Rogers, and then a Mexican consulate was opened up here in Little Rock. And those that infrastructure will pay dividends in years to come because, for example, whether you're for or against or however you feel about immigration, the opportunity to do business with Mexico is very real. And building personal relationships with their consulate is critical. And the same thing with Northwest Arkansas with their World Trade Center. And so the more we can show foreign countries that we're very open, that we've got the types of both infrastructure in terms of rail, highway, skilled workforce that they want, but then complement that with personal relationships. Sometimes literally just meeting someone, writing out a note, and telling them it was very great to meet you, please keep us in mind. That may be more than what another state is doing to try to attract them. All of these things that I want to do in being an ambassador for Arkansas require no new money. We don't have to pass any laws. This is just a change in tone. It is a motivation. I can use existing resources and just change and shift some current job responsibilities to help support this branding and this messaging that I want to do. So I want to serve, and I want to be clear on this, I want to serve as a complement to what the Governor Beebe does on a daily basis. We don't need a new bureaucracy to do this. It's just using existing resources in a little bit of a different way. And one of the reasons why I'm so motivated, and go back to what I said in the beginning, is Arkansas has been the land of opportunity for my family. What I want to do, when I wake up every morning, my thought is, let's expand that opportunity to as many people as possible and give them that same chance that the O'Brien family had way back in 1973.